What's going on, everybody's web style? Brian Sapp here with another NRW checkpoint. Brian, how are you doing today?
I'm okay. I'm okay. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Well, I was thinking about last week, and we thought we were going to have a Nintendo Direct this
Yeah.
week. That hasn't happened. At least I don't think it's happened. I really haven't been on the internet today. So I don't think it's happened at the time of this recording. And if Brian doesn't know about it, then it clearly hasn't happened. But
Nah,
Xbox gave us enough.
right.
But
Definitely did.
first off, did you catch Summer Games Fest?
I did. I watched most of the Xbox showcase. I still need to watch the Ubisoft Forward, but
Well, I meant like
um
the Summer Games Fest, like the Jeff Keighley joint, not the Xbox.
no, no, I
Okay.
didn't see that.
Okay, that was on Saturday, or either Friday or Saturday. I caught bits and pieces of it.
Mhm.
The only thing that stuck out for me from that was they have a four-player Power Rangers retro game, Readers Rewind or something like that, in the
Okay.
vein of like the Teenage Mutant Ninja games that came out a couple years ago. So that's the only thing that really piqued my interest. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I would play that.
Okay.
So since you didn't really watch it, let's talk about this Xbox showcase. Now,
Okay.
Brian, I don't know about you.
Okay.
Like I was coming back home, so I started watching it in the car, and I got back home maybe about 15 minutes after it started. Put it up on the TV.
Mhm.
I can't remember the last time I was glued to the screen watching a game showcase from beginning to end.
Yeah, it was
In a
pretty good.
while. Except a couple women, though. A couple years ago, that one showcase where they told us that PSO2 was coming. Because I remember
Okay.
screaming like a girl when I saw that dropping. I do remember that one. But yeah, I was from beginning to end, I was glued, at least up until the Call of Duty Black Ops 6.
Mm,
I'm not saying I could care less about that, but I could care less about the direct. Because let me tell you,
okay.
and we've talked before, I've told you many, many times before, I've never been a Call of Duty fan. I think I
Yeah.
had what Call of Duty Modern Warfare, my original 360 that I got as a gift, and I played it all in 15 minutes, and it has never been touched again. If I even still have it and give it away when I gave him a 360, but I'll tell you this much:
Hmm.
I don't know if it's the time period that is set in, since it's like the 90s Gulf
90s, yeah.
War. I was a kid then, so that's an era I lived through.
Hmm.
Or the fact that it's coming on Game Pass, I'm like, oh, I might actually play Call of Duty for
I think it's a mix of the two. They hit
yeah,
you in the feels with nostalgia and then told you, first day access right on the
yeah.
shit you're already paying for.
I don't have to pay extra for it. You know what though, and we got a
Mhm.
lot to go through with this, especially getting to new games. But I find it interesting, and we talked about the doom and gloom of the internet video game pundits. I'll call them pundits. I won't call them journalists because most of them aren't really journalists.
Right.
But like, oh, this is a desperation, blah 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 blah. No, it's called people like me who never play Call of Duty are gonna play because it's there.
Yeah. That's
And
exactly what it is.
and
And that was the plan. That
yeah,
was the plan.
and I saw something that literally like a large majority of game sales are Call of Duty anyway on
Mhm.
PlayStation. So you're not going to lose a lot of your player base by putting it on Game Pass, numerically speaking.
No.
You're not going to lose a lot of your player base. Realistically, you have a better chance of increasing their player base. Maybe not that number sold,
Okay.
but you have a better chance of growing your player base because you have somebody like me, and I'm sure I am not alone in saying this. I would play Call of Duty and will play Call of Duty. I'll try it out just because it's on Game Pass. And there are a lot
Okay.
of people who will buy Game Pass just because Call of Duty is going to be on there.
That's true. Because I
And
mean, why would you not? It's free. It's free at
it,
that point. Well,
not even
yeah.
it's $10 a month.
Right.
That if it's just regular console, it's $10 a month. I think it's still $10 a month, or maybe it's a bit higher. I forget. Because I know core, what used to be gold, is $9 or $10, 10.99 a month. So I'm not sure if console is a bit more expensive since I get ultimate.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't understand how that's a bad thing. And the game they showed off for me, you know, we're in the gaming media. We listen to people who talk about games. We read stuff about these games, even when we play them, because we're intrigued by the behind the scenes. The
Right.
fact that, you know, Call of Duty for the past couple of years has had these 2-year development cycles where people always speak in doom and gloom about them, but they sell really well. Now we're getting a Call of Duty that quote unquote has had a proper development cycle, 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are excited about the possibility of this game and the quality of this game, which to me adds to the fact that, or adds to the notion of, you know what, I will try this out just for the campaign alone. Well, because I'm not a big multiplayer person, but just for the
Right.
campaign alone, I'm like, this sounds really intriguing. And if it is good as the pedigree of the studio and they had a lot of time to cook it, this
Mm-hmm.
might be a good game for me.
I mean, listen, if for Call of Duty, because I used to be an avid player myself back in
Mhm.
my, I guess, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 era.
Right,
Um, they have the potential to make good games. It's just been a lot of copy and paste over the
right,
past couple of years, and it is because they're not taking the time to put out a quality game. They're not taking the time to develop anything new or grabbing or eye catching, exciting anything. They're just taking stories and concepts, making skins based on that, and then slapping
right,
it over the game that they already gave us 3 and 4 and 5 times over.
right,
But I would never, as somebody that used to like Call of Duty and play it a lot, I'll never like count them out. I
right,
always check the trailer out, you know what I'm saying, the reviews, see what people are saying about it. Even if I'm not interested in playing, I still give it attention because at one point it had me. It was a
right.
good game. So with that being said, I feel like proper development cycle and rollout and everything would benefit the game. It could be a good game. My apprehension at this point is, well, one, I haven't seen anything from the trailers or from the standpoint of people like who've gotten a chance to play the game or whatever. I haven't seen
Right.
many like reviews about it or
Well, we're
what they
ways
call
away
those
though,
things.
so I don't know
Yeah,
if we're gonna get there yet. Yeah,
yeah, I don't feel like nothing has come out or been said quite yet that's maybe like, oh, this
right,
might be a good one. But
right.
the trailer was cool. And then my apprehension, like I said, comes from why is the game so big? Do you have to when you have Game
300, that's
Pass?
almost 400 gigs.
Exactly. Do you have to download games from Game Pass in order to, or
No,
they
I
all
could I
streaming?
could play it via the cloud if I wanted to, more than likely.
Okay. But
Yeah.
with a game that size, what would you do?
Um, well, if
Would
it
would
if
it
it's
be
an
cloud playable?
Xbox One version, then I still
Okay.
have room on my system to download it if I wanted to. That would, because I think I'm running about a half a terabyte open most of the time because I have a
Okay.
terabyte Xbox One. But that's a humongous file. That's a
Yes.
humongous. Don't have an Xbox One S. That's the only game you got on
Exactly.
it.
And that has been a problem with Call of Duty for the last couple of games as well. Like the size of the game, the fact that you're not adding anything really new, revolutionary, or groundbreaking, and then the price tag. So it's like it's giving me signs that it could be just another, what I'm saying, reskin cash grab. But then, like I said, the trailer was actually not bad. So I'm like, it's
Right,
potential here. That 300 gigs, 300 plus gig,
right.
that's
I hope,
already nailing the coffin for me because
right,
I don't even have that much space I don't have that much space on my console or on my external hard drive.
right.
I don't have that
Yeah,
much space left
that's
for
a
that
chunk.
kind of game. Yeah.
This is what I hope with them. And I hope this is something that I hope they, if they haven't already and they don't know how
Mm-hmm.
to do this, go talk to 343, because 343 with the Halo Master Chief Edition, you can download or select what parts of what games you want to download. You don't have to
Okay.
select every single part. The same thing with Halo Infinite. You don't have to download the every part of the multiplayer and the campaign, or even you can
Okay.
just download the campaign. So I'm hoping that Activision has something like that because that's absolutely ridiculous. But we'll get more into Call of Duty 6 as we get to it. Let's get to the numbers.
Okay.
X they 30 games were shown.
30.
30.
I think I only made it to like 16.
Right. 30 was shown. Of those 30, all of them going to drop on PC. So if you're PC gamer, you're eating good.
Right.
18 are day one Game Pass.
I saw that.
And 17 games in total were from Xbox Studios. A couple of those are going to be multi-plat. You know, Doom: The Dark Ages is multi-platform. A couple of those, Fallout 76 expansion and whatnot. I mean, obviously as multi-platform.
Right.
But are there any games that really struck you that you will get excited for?
Actually, yes, I wrote some down, matter of fact, because I was gonna cover some of these things because outside of the showcase, obviously PlayStation has still been announcing new games, and then you know, Nintendo. So games, you know, as far as announcements are concerned, games have been going crazy right now.
Right.
As far as the Xbox showcase, Expedition 33.
Yo,
Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah.
I saw that. I thought, wait a minute, is this like a sequel to Lost Odyssey? Because that battle system reminded me of Lost Odyssey. I got really hyped. I'm like, oh, that's on my list. That is straight up on my list.
What's crazy is, you know, I've been begging for Sony to remake or put out another version of Legend of Dragoon for quite some time. I feel like that battle system would be perfect because they kind of had something a lot more scaled down in that game where you have to like time your button presses in order for your character to do attack chains and stuff like that.
Right.
I don't know. Expedition 33 looked really good.
Yeah.
South of Midnight.
Man, I'm glad they show gameplay. I was hyped too last year. I'm like, oh, I'm playing that day one. That might be a purchase straight up. That looked amazing.
I'm excited for it because I don't know. I think about Forspoken and I'm like, this is what they were trying to do. This is what Forspoken was trying to do. And I think they got it right in South of Midnight. Metal Gear Solid Delta looks good, even though it's just another Metal Gear game.
Can we talk about we had that full-length trailer and gameplay at Xbox and not Sony State of Play last week? That baffled the hell out of me.
Because what else are you showing Sony? Like, why if we had gameplay, why not show it? You don't want people to be excited about your State of Plays? I don't know.
That baffled me, man.
And then Flintlock looked good to me. And that was the one where it was like kill all the gods and all that stuff.
Yeah, that comes out in a couple, like 2 months or so.
Yeah. Age of Mythology, but that's more so because I'm a Civilization fan and they kind of remind me. It's a real-time strategy game, so I was excited for that. Perfect Dark.
Man,
it looked great.
I was pleasantly surprised with that, especially since we haven't seen anything for like 2-3 years since they had that teaser at the Game Awards.
Okay.
And to see that gameplay and that was real time, I'm like,
yeah,
damn.
You know what? I was really watching impressed. It, and me too, because I'm watching it and I'm like, damn, we haven't gotten a new 007 game in quite some time.
Right.
This could be it.
Yep. And then EA killed Mirror's Edge, so you had that parkour stuff like Mirror's Edge too. I was very impressed.
Yeah,
very impressed.
Definitely. And then going towards a little bit more of a different route, that mixtape game.
Get out of my head. I was just thinking about that. Literally. Because that was I forget the game that company worked on before, because I talked about it with the kid that played the guitar that got sent out of space. I forget the name. Like,
I know. I remember what you're talking about.
Yeah, that was such a cool game, and this is the same development team.
Okay.
So when I saw that, I was like, "Oh yeah, it is. I'm playing this," because I love that the first game they did.
It looked really good, and then I didn't get much farther than that. Obviously there was some other ones in the middle, Doom and Diablo and stuff like that. But I kind of already knew what was going on with that. Doom, though, I don't know. I've never played Doom, but the trailer. I was like, maybe I should, because I don't know, look fun to me. But
Yeah. I agree
that's
with you.
as far as I
I
got so
can't.
far.
I don't think I've played Doom since like old school Doom. I've
Okay.
actually no. The last Doom I played any length of time, and it wasn't a long length of time, was Doom 3.
Mm,
Um, the past two Dooms or whatever look cool, but more the same. This whole medieval sort of setting has
yeah.
me really intrigued.
Yeah. I think that's
For
what it was. When he put the little
yeah,
skull in the gun and it started shooting
yeah.
the teeth, I was like, wait
The
a minute.
different weapons, the
Yeah.
different style of gameplay. Apparently, I was reading that you're not jumping around like you did. Everything's very much level, and you have this these flat plains
Okay.
with these hordes of demons. I was like, oh, I'm feeling this. I am
Yeah.
so feeling this.
It was looking good. What about you though? Because that's pretty much as far as I got.
Well,
I
you
got
got most of mine right there.
okay.
But Indiana Jones looks good.
Okay.
That looks look. You look like you're playing an Indiana Jones movie. I can't be upset about that.
No.
Um, I'm intrigued by Fable.
That was
I
one. I'm on the fence.
I'm glad to see more of it. This
Mhm.
is again, we hate the internet and people running away with perceptions when you don't know nothing. And
Right.
um that reaction that they got last year with the quote unquote female lead character who may or may not be the lead character based on what we've seen so far, how she
Mhm.
was ugly. Well, I mean, she's a very not traditionally attractive person. I'll put it that way. And
Okay.
not being PC, I'm like, I mean, she doesn't like Quasimodo or Tarman like
Right.
that. So, but the fact that you look at all of the characters are in that same sort of design
Mhm.
pattern that you see from that young woman, except for the dude, the giant that we saw last year. That's like actually modeled after the real guy that we've seen in TV shows and whatnot.
Right.
Um, I had more hope for it. Uh,
Okay.
because of that, okay, this is the design they're going with. It's that everybody looks. And again, I didn't think they were purposely making her ugly, but we've had those conversations as well about games purposely making female characters quote unquote ugly. But I was intrigued, and I'm interested in seeing what they do with it. And again, much like Call of Duty, I mean, I'm looking for more information about the game. This game's coming out next year, so we're not seeing anything anytime soon. But once
Right.
everything's pinned down, I'm really looking forward to see what the game is about. Never say I was a big Halo fan, but I played a little bit of Halo, not Halo, Fable, Fable 3 and Fable 2 back in the day.
Okay.
Flintlock as well looked interesting. Vowed, I'm very interested in that. The more I see that, the more I like it.
Okay.
And especially when they revealed you can play in either first person or third person. I'm like,
Oh, okay.
oh, I
What
really
game is
like
that?
that. Avowed from
Okay.
Oblivion.
Okay. I have to
Um,
finish watching it.
yeah, and I think that's about it for me because you hit a lot of the ones I was thinking about.
Mm.
Um, it's weird because I want to see more Gears. I've never been like Gears never got me in the
Okay.
360, so I never like, oh, Gears fan. I played some of Gears 5 and really enjoyed the time I played, never went back to it. So for me, with everybody freaking out about, oh my goodness, it's Emergence Day and blah blah before Gears 1, a lot of people were freaking out. Me, I'm like, okay, looks cool. It doesn't grab me because I'm not like I didn't get into Gears in 360, so I
Right.
haven't been there since the beginning. And like, if you tell me something about Halo, like, oh yeah, I'm down. Like I've been since the beginning, but Gears, like, I understand the significance, but it didn't grab me like that. And that's about it that really like struck me. The what is that? That was it the Atom Fault? No, it's the Frag Punk. That looks interesting
It
with the
does.
whole card base. Like I felt like I saw that. Yes, was it 5 on 5? I don't remember. Um,
Mm.
but it looked like it was doing something different in the genre. We talk about that all the time, and so it was rehashing. We talked about X-Defiant and the shooter, and how it just looks like everything else, just with Ubisoft skins from their games.
Right.
Uh, it looks pretty cool. What Mech Break? I was like, I liked it, but I don't feel like that's a game that has a lot of substance, so I'm not like super excited about it.
Okay.
And if I remember correctly, I think it's dropping on Game Pass. So it's one of those things that okay, it's cool drop on Game Pass, but it seems like it's no really story mode. It's you're fighting against each other, player versus player sort of thing. It's like I think that's about it. what's it? Wu Chang. Oh, the Wu Chang Fallen Feathers one look pretty cool too, but again, I would want to see more of that.
Okay.
I could care less about Flight Simulator. I was surprised we got such a long, detailed look at Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Okay.
Also, with that.
So they showed that too. Okay.
Yeah, they showed that as well. So speaking of Assassin's Creed, let's jump to Ubisoft. I
Mm.
kind of saw a recap. The biggest thing for me is there was no Splinter Cell.
And see, I haven't even watched Ubisoft 4 yet.
Yeah,
But
there was no Splinter. Look, no, I'm gonna spoil that for you. There's no Splinter Cell.
okay.
um,
So like what did they show? Because wasn't it like 20 minutes or so?
I saw a condensed version,
Okay.
and I was half asleep. Nothing that stuck out to me. They did show more of Assassin's Creed Shadows, which they should. They
Definitely.
have a DLC for Prince of Persia: Lost Crown. They
Okay.
also have this kind of lo-fi 2D Prince of Persia game, but I think that's only on their online platform. That stuck out to me.
Okay.
They have some DLC coming for the Division 2, if I remember correctly.
Mm,
And that's pretty
they can
cool.
keep division.
They have I'm not sure if it's an update for the current crew game or like a side game for the current crew game. So nothing new. Nothing
Okay.
new as far as no new franchises, no that I remember.
Okay.
They had the guitar game, and I don't believe I saw Just Dance. I may have missed
Okay.
that, which again, it's nothing right home about when it comes like you
Right.
know what it is.
Right.
And they keep
Just
making
dancing.
they making money.
Right.
But nothing groundbreaking. Again, I think and of course, they had X Defiant stuff there and talking about, I think, was season 1 or season 2 is coming, whatever it is.
Okay.
But we were all waiting for Splinter Cell. And that's the one thing we wanted and
Right.
we didn't get. But they did show off more of Assassin's Creed Shadows. I will not be playing the game because I don't have a current gen system, but
Okay.
I have high hopes for the game.
Oh yeah, I did see
Um,
they I saw a little bit of use case like combat. I do
yeah.
remember that. Okay. Was it more than that or
I think it's a little bit more. Or maybe I'm thinking more so of the Xbox showcase.
no? I
But
mean,
either way, because yeah, it's the woman is more stealthy. Yasuke is more in your
as we
face, point
figured.
objects. He's samurai.
Yeah.
That's kind of what you expect.
Yeah.
So all in all, it was from what I remember, it was typical Ubisoft.
Okay.
So and again, nothing wrong with that, but I want Ubisoft to wow us one year.
Yeah. And
Not
they had the potential.
yeah,
They got
they
so
did.
many cool
Oh,
IP over there, and they're
there's a
great at
new
making
Tom Clancy
original.
game, I think, or maybe I'm getting that confused with the Division. I think
I
I'm getting
mean,
it
Tom
confused with the
Clancy,
Division.
and it's probably a new game.
Yeah, it's probably yeah. So yeah, I want to be wild.
Mhm.
Oh, the Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake is confirmed. I think it's a 2026 day, but it's just like a title page. There was
Okay.
no graphics or anything like that. For it was just a title card and little crap going, not like people going in the background, just like a place, a setting and theme. So,
Yeah, I'm
so
fine
that's
with that.
exciting. But again, that's 2026.
Yeah, I hopefully I still be alive.
Right?
I'm
Exactly.
counting on that. You know what I'm saying? But that's good
Exactly.
because I feel like again, incredible IP over there, Ubisoft. If they're going to remake something, it need to be Prince of
Yeah.
Persia because that franchise, I don't know,
Especially that game.
obviously, yeah, exactly, and obviously it had its time, fanfare, all that, but at the same time, I'm looking at it like why is this not on next gen or current gen? Like it had the perfect mechanics, that whole rewind in time thing and
Yeah,
stuff like that. That
that'd be
I'm going
amazing.
crazy. Yeah,
Yep.
on some new hardware. So I'm excited.
Yep. All right. Well, that's
That's
that's it
good.
for our showcases. Hopefully, Nintendo will give us something in the next week or so. We'll talk about that next week. But let's get into these new games, and you talk about re-releases and remakes. In this case, it's collections. First up, we have Rocket Knight Adventures Respark Collection on the PS4, 5, Switch, and PC. No Xbox, surprisingly. Rocket Knight, but I believe all of those games are backwards compatible on Xbox. I know I got at least one of them in my library. So, if you got an Xbox, they're all backwards compatible. So, Rocket Knight Adventures Resparked is an electrifying 3-game classic revival collection where players relive the nostalgic side-scrolling. The cursors in a way look like an L. Side-scrolling experience by becoming Sparkster, the iconic possum. Is he really iconic?
I mean, I've never heard of him.
Okay, you probably seen him though.
Okay, sure.
The iconic possum knights will battle any army of robots and pigs in order to save the princess. The key features of the game will be 3 games within the franchise are available: Rocket Knight Adventures, Sparkster, Rocket Knight Adventures 2, and Sparkster. 2 non-play gameplay modes, Museum and Museum Player. Boss Rush, jump right to the boss fight immediately. Save game progress anytime. And, it's not a retro collection without a rewind function.
Right. Okay.
Right. So, and that's that. And we are watching the trailer for that one. Next up, we have Psychroma on the PC. This is a narrative-driven side scroller where you play as a digital medium, confront the past by piercing together the broken memories of a cybernetic house, and exorcise the ghost in the machine. We had to watch the trailer for that one.
Yeah. Okay. I'm ready.
Right. Next up, we have Kamaeru, a frog refuge on the Xbox Series systems. Okay. And I don't know why I have S and W. Clearly, it was too early in the morning when I was typing up this outline. Switch and PC. Foster a sanctuary for frogs and restore the biodiversity of the wetlands in Kamaeru, a cozy frog collecting game where you take pictures of frogs, play mini games, and decorate your habitat. Hop right to it.
Okay.
Yeah, they need to drop this on a subscription service. Something. Yeah, that's
right. Because Frogger is probably somewhere waiting to be released again.
There's a niche for that.
Yes. I'm dead.
All right. Next up, we have Taskmaster VRs on the Quest 2, 3, and PC. Not the PSVR 2.
Obviously not.
Right.
Sony.
We got to talk about that again. But we'll probably talk about that next time. Submit to the judgment of the Taskmaster in glorious virtual reality. The hit TV show comes to VR and you are the contestant. Step into the world of Taskmaster. Endeavor to complete a menagerie of challenging and extraordinary tasks and get creative in how you solve them. Your time starts now.
Okay.
Next up, we have Monster Hunter Stories, and this originally dropped on the 3DS. So it is dropping on the PS4, Switch, and PC. Monster Hunter Stories is a RPG that takes place in the world of Monster Hunter and expands upon it in a new and exciting way. No longer are you hunting monsters, but raising them. In this deep story featuring heroes known as monster riders, you will live alongside monsters and form lifelong bonds with them. And side note, the sequel to that, which is the 3DS, is also dropping today as well, or tomorrow in the case of, no, it's today, but is only dropping for the PS4, which I'm like, okay. That's strange.
Right.
And probably, arguably, the biggest release this week is going to be Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance on the PS4, 5, Xbox One, SX, Switch, and PC. Become a mighty demigod and battle through a decimated Tokyo in a war between angels and demons. Make new allies along your journey, engage in intense turn-based combat, recruit hundreds of demons, and forge your own path to dictate the fate of all existence.
Okay.
All right, those are our games for the week. Our first trailer is Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance.
Because I want to see.
You want revenge? Then I'll help you get it.
We want revenge.
Yeah.
Humans need the will to survive at any cost. And those who lack that strength of will no longer deserve to live. It is the world's fate to be remade. Birth, death, then rebirth.
Ruinous thunder!
Okay, it's turn-based.
It's exceedingly unlikely that this could be the work of a human. A demon must be behind it.
Astro, sidetrack, arrow!
I like a good turn-based game.
Demons and humans cannot coexist.
Find the weakness in your heart and take advantage of it.
After our parents passed away, it was my responsibility to keep Miyazu safe. But having the power to summon demons isn't enough.
I, Lilith of the Kadishtu, shall return the world to its true form.
We destroyed this and we could end their plans.
Always such a shame when the prey is wary of their hunters. I never faced my own problems. No more. I won't abandon you. I still want my revenge and my freedom. Yoko? Your knowledge will serve. Its destruction is at hand. I have to do this. I have to save everyone.
Okay. It's another JRPG.
Yeah, that's where I feel about it. I don't know if it's just the fact that we have seen so many Atlas games in the past year with the Personas, Persona 3 remake, the remasters, the new games. I guess fans of the series are really going to be looking forward to it. It doesn't seem like it. And again, it might be a really awesome game, which I don't doubt. But just watching the trailer, there's nothing about it that says, yeah, this is new and I should play it. And yeah, nothing about it says that to me.
Nah.
It seems very run of the mill.
Yeah, it's another, like I said, JRPG. I mean, I'm typically into turn-based RPGs, so
right.
I probably will play this and have a good time, no problem. But is there anything that's calling or grabbing me to like want to do that? No, not necessarily. But I'm not mad at that because it just is what it is.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, we both kind of on this one.
Yeah.
Next up, Rocket Knight Adventures Respark Collection.
Okay.
Even remastered? Seems like it's just a collection of those games.
Right. Draw. Sure, why not?
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah.
Because I expected more than what we saw. I expected like maybe HD, because those look straight like they're from that 16-bit era, which isn't a bad thing per se, but I just expected more from that.
From something that's supposed to be re-releasing.
Right.
Like it's a respark.
Well, okay, so let me tell you. So I looked at my library, right? I'm looking at it right now. Okay. They did a HD update called Rocket Knight, and it came out on the 360 era. And this is HD 2D side scrolling. I wish I could show a picture. I'm looking at the pictures now, and it's like that 2.5D sort of style. That's straight 16-bit era, I'm surprised that wasn't the game, because I believe this is a remake of the original that I'm looking at here. I'm surprised that wasn't like the original game version of the original game they put on there, and then they put the sequels in their original format because they weren't remade. That's surprising.
Very.
That's kind of lazy on Konami's part, in my opinion.
Yeah, which I don't know. Are they need money? I don't know. What's going on?
They've put out some very good collections as of late. They put out their Contra collection, the Turtles collection. They put out the Castlevania collection. All of those, in my opinion, are pretty good, but you didn't have to do anything with those. So they were easy crash gaps. But considering you have a quote unquote HD version of one of the games that you have here, and you don't put this in this package,
right?
That seems weird to me.
Maybe they're gonna do a 2. And it's going to be a part of the second package or something. I don't know.
Let me be frank. I don't think anybody's clamoring for a Rocket Knight Adventures Recollected 1, let alone a 2. Personally.
Nah, I'm with you.
You're a gamer. You're like, a what?
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be positive, I guess.
Hey, look, it is what it is, Brian. It is
right.
What it is.
Yeah, I agree. You're right.
All right. Last up, we have Psychroma. What in the world?
Right. Okay.
Yep.
It was Psychroma. Yeah.
I'm glad we did watch that. That definitely redeemed the other 2 trailers.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So, all right, Brian, I know you got a lot going on this week. Tell us everything about what's going on with you.
I don't have a lot going on at all, actually. I'm going to be I'm preparing the next episode of the Talk+Play Blerd Pod. Obviously, Summer Game Fest just ended.
Right.
We had a PlayStation State of Play, which I already covered in the most recent episode. But like I said, Sony's still putting out trailers and things like that. So we're probably going to be focused more on games and not so much television. There were like 2 or 3 trailers that came out recently. I was like, oh, this looks like it's going to be good. That Watchmen 1 and 2 animated thing that HBO got coming. I'm really excited.
Oh, yeah. I saw the trailer for that today. Yeah.
What else? That's pretty much it. Some music coming out that I'm probably check out and have some opinions on. But other than that, we're focusing on the games because we got a lot to talk about. Xbox really, I think they won this year so far. Like,
it ain't hard to do though. That look,
I mean, yeah, they got everything over there.
Let me tell you. Look, and I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm loving the fact that Xbox is getting all this love in general. I'm loving the fact that we're talking about games because, again, like we said, a lot of those games are multi-plats.
Right.
They're not necessarily Xbox exclusive. They may be exclusively on Game Pass. But the fact that we are talking about games, and this is one thing you and I talk about, we are gamers. It's not about the company. It's not about the console. It's about getting excited about games.
Right.
And the one thing Sony has failed to do for the past year, look, they got lucky with Helldivers. I think we talked about Helldivers 2 before it came out, and it looked cool, but we didn't know what to make of it. Nobody expected it to be the runaway hit that it was.
Right.
Sony has failed in exciting gamers outside of Spider-Man 2 for the past year.
Right. I agree.
And with that, Microsoft they've been putting out games, and people act like they haven't been. They just tend to focus on the negative aspects of what's been going on, but not focus on Sony's negative aspects. But that's another conversation we've had already about that. But they drum up this narrative. But Microsoft's been putting up games. Even last year's showcase, like it was good. It wasn't great. It was good, but Microsoft consistently shows games. And this year they show games that more than likely outside of, I think only stated today the K3 didn't have a 2020 whatever.
Okay.
Everything is slated as of right now for this year or next year.
Right. And that's how it should be. Like they laying out what's coming.
Yeah.
And giving you things. Because I seen some of that stuff, some things, very few, but some things were like, you can play this now. You can do this now.
Right.
And I like that.
Yeah.
Give me something now. Give me something to look forward to in the next couple months. Give me something to look forward to next year.
Right. They dropped that Starfield content like that night, as far as like the extra stuff and the whatever. And then the main DLC is coming in a couple months, something like that. You know, yeah, and that's something that's how you do it. You trickle it out, but you let people know what's coming. You get people excited. You get people investing in your platform that way. And Sony knows how to do this. Sony's done this for years, but for whatever reason,
lacking.
For the past 12 months, they have not given the gamers what they wanted. And then I think somebody said it best. You had a half-hour state of play, and half of it, or a third of it, was about some generic 5-on-5 hero shooter that nobody cared about. Talk about tone deaf.
Yeah, they're not reading the room.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is. For whatever reason, they have not been listening, and they've lost their focus in this present time. Not saying in totality,
right?
But in this present time on games. And that is something that Microsoft is doing, and Nintendo has always done, because all Nintendo has is games.
Listen, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what their focus is. So it's interesting to have this conversation, all these games, that we're excited about games, and that's all we want as gamers, to have a choice of different types of games to play. And I think with that Xbox showcase, more than anything, there was pretty much something for everybody in that.
Definitely.
And you can't say that too often.
No, but see, this was the goal. Like Microsoft, when they set out to buy, Activision and Blizzard and King and all these other like studios, this is what they wanted to do. They wanted to not necessarily monopolize, but at least have a place in each corner of the market. And they succeeding, if you're asking me, because I'm looking at this like, okay, I need to work Xbox into the budget.
Wait a minute, let's stop for a second there. We only had 3 games that were from Activision Blizzard. One was COD, and the other 2 were expansions for Diablo and World of Warcraft.
Yep. And everything else, they was like, this our studio. Some over here, but this us.
Yep. Like, we ain't even talking about mobile stuff yet. If they even start adding that into into everything. Like, can you imagine the crossover with Candy Crush? Now we're getting off topic and into the weeds, but can you imagine them using that Candy Crush IP and expanding that again, much like EA did with their PopCap stuff when they bought it, like Plants vs. Zombies and everything? I'm very curious to see what the next 2-3 years hold for that crossover potential, but also the sheer amount of different varieties of games we get out of that behemoth of Xbox now.
I agree, and because the like King or whatever, obviously mobile gaming.
Yeah,
but at this point in time, mobile gaming is not that far off from PC gaming. So it's like the potential is crazy right there for things to happen. I want to say, I feel like King might be developing something like that's probably going to be geared towards making sure PC and Xbox and mobile can all share in this collective game. I don't know. It's just something about them being so quiet since the acquisition really just made me feel like they working on something.
Well, no, I don't doubt it. I see. We had the that studio, and I forget who the name of that was, working on the mobile Doom game that got axed, which again, we talked about it. That makes sense. You just bought King.
Right.
I'm not saying anybody should lose their jobs.
Right.
But it made sense where I have this only mobile only studio. They develop one game, and I just built the biggest gaming conglomerate or company there is. There
Let's
is
take a
not
look.
a need
Yes.
from an organizational structure for that studio anymore. So, but I see new Halo mobile games. I
Mm,
see we had a Gears Tactic. Was that mobile? I see a whole
mm,
lot of Microsoft IP coming over to mobile games.
agreed.
Definitely. I don't just see a Forza, but I can see a Forza branded game.
Okay.
Um, maybe to challenge the Asphalt series or something. Like
Mm,
there's a lot of possibilities there. A
yeah.
whole lot of possibilities. But I'm sorry that you got the Talk+Play Birdcast coming up. Anything else?
No, that's it. I'm chilling. What about you?
I just finished today, episode 181 of the podcast. So that's dropping at the time of this recording. It'll be out tomorrow on YouTube, Spotify and whatnot. I gotta sweat out some stuff for that, so it may be out tomorrow, if not a couple days later.
Mm,
But with that, we're talking about Killer Comes from Outer Space, our fragrance of the week, also some sartorial slice. I'm back on my style tips. With that, it's a shorter episode, so we're about 30 minutes, but also talk about my take on Star Trek Discovery Season 5. And then I cut all that up afterwards, so you can look at those individual segments after the main episode drops tomorrow on Friday over the course of the next couple of days if you don't want to watch the whole thing. And there may be a couple other videos coming out before we get to recording and sitting down next week for Checkpoint. But
okay.
that's it for us. You know where you're at, though. Make sure you continue to follow us, Nerds of the World. Follow us on Instagram at New Release Wednesday, on X at the NRW. And of course, you know we at YouTube. Give Alphabet all that money. Make sure you like, you share, and subscribe.